Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Saturday. I always have to think about the date. Hey, so thanks for joining me. I'm excited about this episode. I was a little nervous doing it, but I'm glad that I just went ahead and scheduled it. I had been kind of putting off doing it, but I was thinking about a topic, and I've been thinking a lot about um, how how cults and culty relationships are um, usually perpetrated by people that really lack empathy, compassion, kindness, and just common decency, right? And after doing the stream with my friend Peggy the other day about Gwen Shamblin, I was just thinking about that. And I was thinking about my own experience with my cult leader, Marlene Sweeney. You know how I like to say her name any chance I get. And yeah, so I was thinking about doing a stream about that lack of empathy and how cults just twist it into making you think that that's a good thing and even trick you into, being a perpetrator yourself, right? So I was thinking about that. And then I came to the conclusion that I wanted to, in conjunction with that, or sort of instead of that, to give you all a snapshot or an example of what I feel is the opposite of that, of that cruelty, lack of empathy and compassion. And we hear a lot of stories in the ex-Scientology world. From a lot of the SBTV creators of horrible, horrible cruelty that was done to them. And so, yeah, so I want to introduce you to a person on screen, not a real, not a living person, but someone that I'm kind of getting to know myself. And her name was Rose, and she was my biological mother. And I've only had um, few memories. I mean, I do have several memories of her. She passed away when I was 5 and a half around. And so I do have memories of her. And I've kind of pieced things together. I've gotten some things over the years, very few pictures, but a couple years ago, in the midst of COVID, my my cousin, I don't have a lot of living relatives, but my cousin had signed up for ancestry.com, and she found some articles which I thought were wild. Like, wow, I've never um, seen them before, and I really didn't know so many things about my mom. So I'm excited to share those with you. And thank you to all that have come in so far. I want to say hi to some people. All right, Joel. Hey, Joel. Good morning, my friends. Hope all is well for you and yours. And Poet. Hey, Poet. Good morning. Good morning, Poet. Good morning, Sophia. No Talk Tony. Welcome, welcome. Uh, L. Jane Clifton Roselle. Good morning, Marilyn. Good morning, L. Jane. So glad you're here. Susie Q. Good morning, Marilyn. Good morning, all. Kat. Hey, Kat. Hello to all, and good morning. Kat is one of my new mods, so thank you so much, Kat. I just want to make sure it shows up. Oh, yes. Okay. Awesome. 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 Thank you for doing that. All right. We got Maya. Hey, Maya. Great to see you. All right. Yeah. So, as I was saying, I wanted to kind of paint a picture of what I have heard about my mom and what I've discovered. And she, she wasn't perfect, and I'll mention that later. But you don't have to be a perfect person to be a good person. And we all have our weaknesses, but I think that if we have a desire to be be kind and do good in this world, that it covers a lot of the bad, you know? Um, so what do I want to start with? Um, all right. I don't have a lot of actual history. I know that my mom was born in 1929 in October. I don't want to say the date in case I'm wrong, but I know it was the month that the stock market crash happened and the depression started. And coincidentally, Duncan's mom, Bing, we called her Phoebe, she was born the same year in the same month. So my mom and Duncan's mom were born, um, within days of each other, which I thought was really, really wild. So, yeah, and the start of the Depression, October of 1929. And so she was alive. I'm terrible at math. She'd be almost 94. And she was 46 when she passed away in 1976. But before that, she I'm not sure as far as schools, education, things like that. But she was born in the town that I live in now in Vermont, and moved to a neighboring town in Massachusetts, where I are my stomping grounds, where I do my grocery shopping and everything. And she married a man named Herman, and for some reason, she didn't think she could have kids. Maybe she was having, struggles with it, and she sought to adopt, and adopted a older little girl. Her name was Rosemarie, and she was a lot older than all of us. And she, so then my mom ended up having 6 kids with Herman, 6 kids of her own. And, I do have a picture of my siblings. I didn't put it up on my little slideshow today, but one of these days I will show the picture of my 6 siblings. It'll be hard because I will definitely bawl my eyes out, and I do have a picture of them before I was born, and, with my cousin, that also passed away. So, yeah, I will, show that at some point because 'cause I'm getting really comfortable with you guys, so I know I can do it. I know I can do it. So, I wanna show you some pictures, and I don't have a second, monitor, so I'm gonna be kinda going back and forth. So if you, just bear with me. And I see Miss Sunrise Dawn. Hey, thanks for coming. And let me housekeeping. Hold on a second. Let me just get. There we go. Okay. All right, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I saw your comment from yesterday, so decided to do that. So yeah, I'm going to put some stuff up. Let me just make sure I'm on the right screen. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. All right. Present. Okay, so that's my part of my thumbnail from today. And that's my mom, and that's me in the little poncho, and I'll talk about that later because I have that picture again. So that's my mom, Rose, when she married Herman. She never married my father. She was actually technically still married to Herman when she passed away, and I don't ever remember meeting him until I was adopted. I might have seen him once before that, but that's her wedding picture. And oh, what happened? Sorry, you got my Facebook. I will get I will get that going. I'll fix it. Told Duncan to pick me up some smokes. Housekeeping, like I said. um, okay. Let's do that again. Um, sorry guys, I'm trying to figure this out. All right. I'll get it. I will get it. I don't know why it just skipped over. Okay. There we go. Try this again. I gotta get my act together and get another monitor. Okay. So, probably can't read this very well, but this is one of the newspaper clippings that uh, the ancestry.com found, and it was of my mother being named the what is it called, a liaison to for community action. I don't know if that's a nationwide thing. I know it's something in Massachusetts. It basically sets up programs, community programs such as heating assistance, yeah, like fuel assistance, utility assistance. It's very involved in the Head Start program for early intervention. And yeah, so she was heavily involved in that and was voted in by secret ballot, it says. And um, so this is one thing I happened upon, and I'll get the oh, that's me again. Yeah. So my mom was really into doing charity work, and she heard that the state hospital in Northampton, which is basically was called labeled a insane asylum or a facility, state hospital, and um, there were people there that probably didn't need to be there back then, but this is in the late 60s, and um, they she had collected different items. Like, she had gone to visit there, and there were 120 women that were in the facility that she just felt like they were being cared for adequately, but they didn't have just little things to cheer them up. A lot of them didn't have family to visit them. A lot of them didn't have, just little things like perfume and nice smelling soaps, jewelry. So she started collecting things and buying things herself. I know from what my older sister have told me that she was a little bit of shopaholic, and she made several trips to the state hospital and brought them things to cheer them up, and also some necessities, and took some of them out shopping. And the article goes into it. If anybody wants to read, the actual article, I can send them the screenshots. But it was just really, really heartwarming, and yeah, it gave me a window into what my mom was like. And there's another article, it was a follow-up article where she had made several trips, and then this was October 28th, 1967. So it was 3 years before I was born. And it's just an article about how she was collecting items and going there, and she was also just putting out an appeal if anybody wanted to help. And she described how this is really funny. To me, it is. To me, it's funny, anyways. She described how she had, six little ones at home, and she's like, I don't know how my family puts up with me, because I had, the dining room's completely taken over with all of these items that I'm, about to bring, and she's just constantly collecting things. And I know she was like a little bit of a hoarder. Unfortunately, it did kind of contribute to the fact that the fire was so hard to fight. So yeah, that part of it, she wasn't perfect, but um, yeah, she was collecting things and taking over the dining room. And I'll get back to that later, because there's a little funny anecdote about that. So let's see what else I got. So another thing. Oh, I don't know why my mom's head's cut off, but it's on the thumbnail. My biological father, had given me this picture. I don't know where he got it, and he had blacked out her eyes and just like tried to just mark up her face with pen, which I was really pissed off about. So hopefully someday I can maybe get it photoshopped. But yeah, that's me and my mom. I wonder if I can fix it. What happened? But yeah, so she crocheted, which I never knew that until I got this picture. So I just thought that was really, really cool, really, really funny, and just awesome that I did learn how to I learned how to crochet from my adopted mom, but what was funny was that my 2 younger adopted sisters that were her biological children never really took to crochet. One of my sisters can crochet, but she doesn't really do it. It doesn't she's not obsessed with it like I am. So I just thought it was kind of funny that my real not say my real mom, my what do you say? Bio mom, birth mom, um, yeah, I don't like to say, but I don't know. Yeah, my mom, she crocheted, and I guess I caught the bug without even knowing that. So I just thought that was really cool. And there's so many other similarities. But I just want to say hi to anyone else that's coming in. Alicia, RT, hey, good morning. Great to see you. Welcome, welcome. And who else? There's my girl. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you, honey. Oh, Evelyn Lee Barney. Good morning. Great to see you, Evelyn. Yeah, so let me star a few things. Let's see. Just want to go up. I'm nodding because I'm reading it, but I want to read them out loud, but I want to star them too. So all right. I'm going to read some things. Sophia, she's your mom and didn't have a choice when it came to being there, unfortunately. Doesn't erase her presence in your life of the time that you had together. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. It's very sweet. Joel, we are honored to take this journey with you, Marilyn. You are very special to us. Thank you. And you all are special to me too. I really mean that. Really do. Yeah. In your time, Marilyn, we will be here when you're ready to share it all. Thanks. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that picture. Guess I'm not ready to share that one. Yeah. Thank you. You guys are great. Thanks for bearing with me. Whew. Yeah. Sometimes it takes the smallest thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, thanks. Whew. Uh, thank you. Hope to be of support to everyone here. Oh, you are. Thank you so much, Kat. Thanks for all your help and for being here. Joel said, "This is a good group. All the best of people." I love this group. Really, I think I have the best chat ever. Sophia, she saw people's needs and did something about making sure they were met with dignity. That's right. Yes. Yeah, she really, really had a heart for them, for the homeless and the disabled, and those mentally disabled women. She was so sweet with them. And I remember her just being so loving to me, and I was very inquisitive. I was just always asking questions, which is funny that I joined a cult later on. Wasn't allowed to ask questions, but she was always just very patient. I do really remember that. And I remember her telling me little things. I think I mentioned this with Doug about don't you know be careful, like don't eat the watermelon seeds because they make you sick. Um, I used to follow her around. I used to follow her in the bathroom and ask questions about anatomy, and she was just very age appropriate and very very calm and matter of fact about it. And yeah, I just remember her making toast for me and things like that. So just mom stuff. And I just remember her really having a very kind voice and being very patient with me, you know. So yeah, looking back, I really appreciate that I had that start in life. But it was chaotic. There were 7 of us in the house, and like I said, I mean, my mom wasn't perfect. And she was a little bit of a hoarder, and you know, money wise, yeah, it was hard to manage, especially being essentially single from the time that I was born. And she, my dad wasn't really my biological father wasn't the best catch, so maybe she didn't make the best choices of men, but she is just such a good person. And yeah, I said, like, she's present. Maybe she is, right? That she's such a good person instead of she was a good person. So, Joel, you're gonna make me cry. Marilyn, the more you tell us about your mother, the more I see your kindness and love came from her. May Rose always rest in peace. Thank you. That sorry, that means a lot to me because she's definitely one of the people that I want to be like, you know, and I aspire to be like. So, yeah, just going down the line here. Alicia said, "Great to see you too, Marilyn. Thanks for sharing about your mom. Can always be easy to do. You guys make it a lot easier. I know you don't mind the crying. You're used to seeing me cry." I was like, the first time I cried, I think it was maybe talking to Reese, and then it was like, and the floodgates opened. But then I did start sharing more stuff that kind of makes me cry. So Kat said, "You resemble your baby photo so closely. Same smile and pretty eyes." Thank you. My daughter Haley, her baby pictures are like a spitting image. I'll have to show you guys sometime. They really are. She looks just like me. I do look a lot like my father, my Bob did too. I kind of have his nose and his like facial structure, but I definitely do see my mom, especially as I get older. Um, Evelyn said, "Birth mothers usually works. I have no idea how to imply that you did have time with her. She did more than just date." Right. Yeah. Right. She sure did. Mhm. There you are. Hey, Barbara. Thank you for coming, honey. You made it. Yes. Yes, you made it. Yeah. Yeah. So, I wanted to share something funny with you because my my mom, in that newspaper article that I kind of flashed before the screen, you can't really read it, but if anybody really wants to read it, I can send it to you. But uh, yeah, it said that she was saying like that she didn't know how her family could like put up with her because of like how she had taken over the dining room. And when my cousin sent me that, and I was just amazed, I was like, "Oh my god, my mom did charity work." Like I didn't know, I didn't know a whole lot about her. I knew that she crocheted because of that picture, which is really cool, but I didn't know about all of this. And when my cousin sent this to me, I was reading it to Duncan, and he was laughing because he's like, look at our dining room." And it was in the midst of COVID, and we had gotten some grant money to help make care packages for the elderly. And he pointed to the dining room. Let me just share the screen. Okay. Facebook. All right, that's me again. And yeah, this was our dining room. We had uh collected all these things from people that were donating, um and companies and things that were donating to us. And some people actually went and were collecting food, and this was a commodity. toilet paper. Oh my God. This was so hard to find. If you go, I don't know if it was like that when when you all were, locked in your house or whatever during COVID, but toilet paper was like a precious commodity. And Duncan had just turned 60 at that point, and I used to send him down to stand in line because if you were 60 or older, you could get some, and then we would put them in our care packages and drop them off to people. So Duncan and some of my volunteers were just absolute superstars. They went and delivered well over 500 care packages to the elderly. Oh yeah, another thing. And it was just amazing. Like the people that we gave the packages to, they were just so happy, and just to have something simple like toilet paper and a mask. Oh, that was a mask that I crocheted. I slipped that in there with the lips. And I had an actual mask underneath it too, but it was a cotton crochet, but I had a lining under it. And so those were the packages. That's Berkshire Helping Hands, it says. And then it was a miracle. We got an actual office, and that's um, our banner. And we don't have the office anymore. Just works out to not have it, but we we would line things up and do like an assembly line, and that was great because I had some help, and I was, able to make more that way. And the only bummer about it was up 2 flights of stairs. So we had to lug all that stuff. So yeah, that was wild that that I got that article in the midst of that, and it was almost felt like she was telling me something, that like she was proud of me. And I, I always wanted to make her proud. So yeah, and I had a ton of help. So I'm not taking credit for that. But yeah, so I want to go through some more comments. Oh, people talking about toilet paper. Yeah, that was such a big thing, such a uh, yeah. My son Austin wrote a parody, something about take the toilet paper off the shelf, and then it was like the old time toilet paper roll. It was so funny. It was so funny. And then he did a cover of a parody of Willie Nelson, and he's sitting on his bed with his like hair all a mess in his pajamas, and he's singing "Stuck at Home Again," like "Stuck at Home Again, can't believe I'm stuck at home again." Yeah, and he's like, "I haven't left the house since God knows when, can't believe I'm stuck at home again." Yeah, he's cute. And we tried to make the best of it. It was a rough time. It really was for everybody. So just going down some. See some really good comments and just starting them so I can be a little more fluid with them. The COVID toilet paper massacre. Yeah. Yeah, I that's when I started, well, it was before that, about a year before that, I started a Facebook group with the name Berkshire Helping Hands. And in the morning, people would be like, "Hey, there's some masks for sale at Stop and Shop or this or that." And then people would run to get them to help us out. So that was wild, and it was really a very a good, nice time as far as making friends and building community. It was just a great, you know, a cute way to say, "Honey, you're like your mom." Okay, thank you. I'm just going down the line. We're talking about toilet paper. Man, that was my favorite subject for a while. I still really laugh when I hear about it. It's great. Okay, let me go down some of these. Sophia said, The first years are so much more important and influential in our development than we usually realize. She made you feel safe and heard, and that gets you through a lot in life. You know, Thank you for saying that. You're probably I'm sure you're right because don't they have whole degrees, early childhood? Like I know that Liz Gale has a degree in early childhood education, I think, and it's one to five, or the early years, and that's the time that I had my mother. So I'm sure you're right. Sure you're right. Miss Sunrise Dawn, you say she didn't make the best choice in men, but we're glad she chose your bio dad, or we would have you thank you. Yes, I kind of broke up a marriage. Well, not kind of. I guess I did. I didn't personally, but just my dad and my mom and my presence on the earth, and my mom kind of took off to the other side of the state. But yeah, you can't go back, and I'm happy to be here. And if I wasn't here, my kids wouldn't be here, and I absolutely adore them. So thank you so much. Um, Part of communicate. Oh, sorry. I'm getting in people's conversations. I just clicked on that. Um, CR Cinderella, wait, hi. From one crab baby to another, you're good. Thank you. Crying is very therapeutic. Yes. Yes. I'm definitely healing and having therapy right on screen right before your eyes. And I do, like I said, I love this chat. It's we have a lot of good healing moments, don't we? You know. Kat said, that's more than coincidence. There's a lot of science that says personality traits and behavioral tendencies is encoded in our DNA. And you were with her during your most crucial imprinting years. Oh, that's awesome. That's good to know. And I think I have some other things. I have very good choice in men because I still have my husband who's amazing. Not to pick on my mom, but yeah, I guess I am a little bit of a hoarder. I'm more of maybe a little bit of a neater hoarder. Um, but she struggled with an eating disorder and her weight, and that's something I've struggled with too. So yeah, you get the good and the not so good, but um, I'll take the bad to get the good, right? And I'm not I guess I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm just like my mom because I'm so nice. I can be not nice, and definitely. And I just have learned, especially through my call experience, that uh having no compassion, having no empathy, um no generosity of spirit is just a miserable, miserable place to live, place to, state to be in. And cults rationalize it of like this pie in the sky thing, like, oh, you suffer now, and they inflict a suffering on you and have you inflict suffering on each other, when often the cult leader isn't suffering, or the narcissist in the one-on-one relationship, or the corporate dude who's the top of you know the MLM pyramid. They're not suffering, but they tell you to suffer. So that just burns my biscuits. Just makes me so mad. Yeah. So from a poet, you couldn't find TP at Walmart, but the Dollar General that is 6 miles down the road from me never ran out. Oh, great. Yeah, I remember those bare shelves at Walmart. Yep, I do remember that. Sophia, I got the big pack of toilet paper before lockdown, and my mom was really happy when it got a scarce resource. And Sophia, you're in Germany, right? So it wasn't just America that ran out of toilet paper, I guess. Um, Fly family, hey, nice to see you. There's also a weird, still anecdotal evidence of step parents and family changing some of the innate trait of a child. Yeah, I mean that kind of nurture versus nature thing. I can make that would make sense. Miss Sunrise Dawn, I had a meme pop up in my FB memories yesterday that said, "Whatever happens, please don't buy all the toilet paper again." Yeah, yeah, that was crazy time. But it really opened up a different era, I got to start using the internet more, because you kinda had to, and networking that way. And so many things that were just before it was like, no, you have to do everything in person, your doctors, everything. My son was going to counseling, and it was kind of a pain because, our insurance is in Vermont, and you have to drive like at least 40-45 minutes to get to the nearest town. So him being able to have FaceTime his counselor, that was really good. And a bunch of different things. I remember my my friend having a Pampered Chef party online. I was like, "This is great because I can order my Pampered Chef stuff." Because I do like Pampered Chef, even though it's an MLM, but I like their stuff. Tampa B. Oh, Marilyn, I'm very proud of you too. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate that. And I know you always speak so fondly of your mom, so I would love to hear more about your mom someday. Definitely. Let's see if I have everything. Okay, going down more. Sorry, guys. Joel says, a very wise man told me many years ago, the good in us may come from different places. The important thing is that we use it and encourage it in others. This is true. Kindness is contagious. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. And in the end, it's like, doesn't, it's relationships that matter, right? Um, oh, you, Kelly, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing this part of your life. We all love you, and I know she would be so proud of who you are. Thank you, honey. Appreciate that. And I'm very proud of you, Kelly. Um, I just told you that last night. I was just amazed at for someone your age, just all the wisdom and you've helped me, and we're really good friends, and I really treasure your friendship. And you're. I told her this last night, guys. She's a walking miracle, and she really is walking miracle. Hey, Kim. Oh, I'm trying to click on you. There you are. Amazing day. Enjoying this episode. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm so glad. You're always so cheerful. I love that. Yeah. Thanks y'all for hitting the like button. Thank you, Kat. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Susie Q, hoarding is usually a trauma response to loss and grief. I um I heard and I noticed from the time that the hoarding got worse. From the time that my brother, but we called him Buddy. His name was Herman Jr. And I actually found his obituary this morning. I didn't put it up, but yeah, it was in September of 1973. So I was almost 4. So I do have a memory of my mom crying on the phone when he passed away. And from 73 to 76, when the fire happened, the hoarding definitely got worse. I don't really remember it before that, but I just remember having piles and piles of pocketbooks. Like I used to love like purses, and I still like purses. I mean, I don't hoard them, but I do have a lot of purses. I remember I just loved purses as a little kid. And my mom had this she had a sister named Pearl, and Pearl was from Tennessee, and she came up to visit us. And I do remember this, and I was probably like 4 or 5, before the fire. And Pearl came up to visit with her daughter. Her name was May, and they were Southern, and they talk like this. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of Southern people. I do love the accent, but um, I just remember May, the daughter, she's a little older than me, taking my purses and going to my mom and being like, Aunt Rose, can I have this pocketbook? And and my mom would say yes, and she gave it to her. And I remember having a big tantrum because my mom was like, I'll just buy you more. I'll get you more, honey. Don't worry. And I was like, yeah, I want my purse. I don't know, a pocketbook. We called them pocketbook. Like not even pocketbook. It was a pocketbook. So yeah,
So she's like, Aunt Rose, can I have this pocketbook? Oh, I do remember that. It still burns my biscuits. Like, give me my pocketbooks back. The things that kids get attached to, right? Mm. All right. I'm just starring some things. All right. Sorry if I'm at. You guys are great. You got a lot of comments. This is awesome. I wish I could read them all, but I probably missed some. Sorry about that. All right. How do I do that? Okay. I'll try to leave off where the comments start rolling again. All right. All right. Rock it out with Kim D. Hi. Good morning. My grandson is on a plane to our home for Thanksgiving break. Nice. 11 years old, and today ends over 7 years of parental alienation. I delayed starting my channel because of the legal stuff. Yeah, and you started a channel now, right? I think it's Rocking It Out with Kim D. Hi. Yeah, that's great. I'm overwhelmed with joy and more today. The cult of one is ending. Let the healing begin. My 15-year-old grandson can't wait to be with his brother, and my daughter is excited. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm really happy for you. I know it's been a long time coming. Kim again. I can finally start sharing this. All of you helped along the way since March 2023. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long road, hasn't it? I'm so glad that it's over and that you can start your channel now. That's great. Evelyn Lee Barney. I used to love Mary Kay. Rotten business model does not always equal lousy product, right? Oh, and Tupperware. Yeah. Yeah, I used to love Tupperware. My adopted mom did that. Mary Kay and Tupperware because she liked to use them. So I remember all those Tupperware containers that you had to like walk it around and burp them. Yeah, I remember that. All right. Sorry about that. Miss Sunrise Dawn, I told my hubby just the other day that at least one good thing came out of the pandemic: video doctor visits. Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes if you know what's wrong with you, or you don't have anything necessarily wrong, but you need like, refill or whatever, or yeah. I, Sometimes you just know like you need antibiotics, right? And you don't feel good. You don't want to go and catch something else or give something to somebody else. Yeah. I get it. Tampa B. I've come out of my shell and feel like for the first time in a very long time, I have friends who care and reach out with understanding. This community has been life altering for me. I agree. And I'm glad you feel that way, Tampa, or Barbara, because we feel that way about you. Absolutely. Yeah. When I don't see your name for a couple days, I'm like, where's Barbara? And now I can message you directly, like, hey, honey, Yeah. Sophia, my grandparents were born around the same time as your mom, and they were big time hoarders because of the lack of resources, right? Beginning of the depression, that they grew up with, and fear of not having enough sits deep. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Duncan's mom, she was a little bit of an anomaly because in some ways she was super frugal, like to a fault. Like I used to get nervous because she would want to like reuse plastic like baggies, like sandwich bags. And I'm like, that had like meat in it. You don't want to reuse that, and she definitely could afford more than enough of what she needed. And then there were other things like bizarre supplements that she would just buy and buy and buy and buy and buy and have in the basement. And oh my goodness, it took a solid year to clean out her house. Honestly, it really did. And it was some weeks where, long days, long days. So yeah, so that does make sense. Makes sense. That said, I found this group of people to be similar to sport groups I have attended for sobriety in a good way. I'm glad you feel that way. We spend a lot of time talking to each other and relating and empathizing, and that's kind of what my stream is about. And I will admit I put this into the chat GPT GTP GPT, and just said something like a title about a lady named Rose who was a kind lady, and it came up like that. And a rose of kindness, cultivating compassion in a garden of empathy. And I feel like we do that. This is a garden of empathy, right? We all empathize with each other. And just so happens that her name is Rose. So it sort of did the cultivating and the garden thing, you know. So if I do chat GPT, thank you, witness. Thank you. Good to see you. Yes, thank you. That's another one of my issues is not being able to spit it out. So that's a great tile. Yeah, thank you. I can thank Chat GPT for that. GPT, GPT. I got to practice that. Yeah, and I had a lot of fun making the thumbnail, and I do want to try to see if I can find somebody who can Photoshop that picture that my biological father messed up with pen. I don't know why he did that, but yeah. So yeah, clever. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about cleaning things out. Um, Barbara said, "I don't want my children to have to deal with all my hoarding left behind. I did it for my mom. It wasn't fun. Felt like if she saved it, then I should too." Yes, I can totally relate to that. I was actually thinking about that this morning because I was looking, you know, for pictures and stuff, and it just crossed my mind that I have things that I do want to keep that I don't know where they are because I have so much stuff. It's and I have a certain hubby that stashes things. I don't know if they're in the attic or what. But then there's some things that I'm like, I really don't need three of these. Or it's like, you know, we we wasted no time setting up when the boys moved out. It was like we kind of spread things out. I don't think I bought a lot of more stuff, though I do buy yarn. Um, oh, and that reminds me, I don't have it in here, but someone sent me a box yesterday and it said it was from, like, Las Vegas, and it was some company, but it was, I think, reused, but if someone sent me a box with yarn in it, thank you. It was really it's this, small, I'll show it next time. These, skeins, several skeins, maybe 6 skeins of, like, a very soft white acrylic with flecks, but it's beautiful. Make, like, I don't know, like, a nice shawl or something, like a scarf, but I don't know who sent it to me because they didn't put a note in it or anything. So, um, yeah. So thank you, whoever that was, and I will definitely use it. I mean, I love yarn, so yeah, that was a surprise. I was like, I got a package, and I don't know who it's from. So that's amazing. Maybe Marilyn coined a apropos phrase when she did neat hoarders. Yeah, I would say neater. I'm not neat. Like I think I have clothes on my floor right now in my bedroom. My bedroom is was where everything goes to die. I just like stash things in there, but I try to keep the rest of the house. Which I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this. I don't even know what she is. Like a self help person called the Fly Lady. And I got really into her when I first started getting internet when I think I was probably even still in the cult. And she had these like I got these like dusters, like these ostrich feather dusters. And her premise was to keep your sink shiny, like if you shine your kitchen sink, the rest of your house will follow suit, right? So it was like this thing where you like shine your sink, and it didn't really work for me. Like I shined my sink, and the rest of my house didn't magically get clean. But she was talking about how a lot of people, especially people with trauma, which I can actually, this resonates with me, is that people who have, trauma survivors, a lot of times you become like perfectionists. And I know that, in the cult was like the perfectionism was crazy. So, taking the things like at 15-minute increments instead of just looking at a room and being overwhelmed or doing this all or nothing, because my life was all or nothing for the longest time. Right. So, um, if I didn't have a whole, 3 hours to clean a room from top to bottom, which in the cult I did, because that's all we did. But um, if I didn't have that time, then I would just shut the door and leave it. And now I'm like trying to, okay, well, I have a spare 15 minutes. I'll just neaten this up. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know? And so I don't know. It was just a good lesson that I learned from the fly lady. And the other thing she said was, about, she wasn't like that fight in the front lady with the countenance and, the Southern, like, you gotta be, you know, like, it wasn't like patriarchal. Fly lady's pretty cool, but she would say things like, well, your bedroom is where you love your husband and all that. You don't want it to be like a dumping grounds for clutter, but it kind of still is. So sorry, fly lady. Sorry, hubby. I'm trying to get better about it. Oh my goodness. I can't even think out loud with this girl. I might be able to have a go. Oh, will you stop? You're killing me. I love you, Kelly. Yeah. If I'm just like, I wonder if it's up, I'll do it. And then usually she'll just whip it off. I love you, honey. Um, Evelyn said, I still want some of you crafters to come shop in my closet. Damn it. So much I could give away. I can't bring myself to throw it away. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Oh, hey, Liz. Hi, sweetheart. Good morning, my adopted mom. Good morning, my girl. Got my girls in here. Good to see you. Cat, my kids will definitely wonder what the heck I saved all the bits and pieces and scraps of paper I have tucked away in neat containers. Yeah. This is funny because, you know, we'll start off on one subject, but we'll kind of zero in on one thing, like my mother's hoarding thing, and something we can resonate with. So let's talk about it. Definitely. Everyone's saying hi to Liz. Yeah. Barbara, I save mom stuff, kids stuff, and art supplies, all medias. Yeah, Duncan's mom was an artist, and she had this was this little 91-year-old lady with this huge I don't know how many rooms, 7 big rooms probably. It was a colonial. And when her husband died years ago, she just moved into every room and it was no rhyme or reason. It was just stacks and stacks and stacks of papers and books and art supplies. And every single room had like its own set of like like as if it was an office. So every room had, pens and paper and tape and staplers and just everything. And some of it was like, I won't say antique stapler, but older. So we ended up with a lot of stuff. Gina Marie Clutter is a trauma symptom. Yeah. Um, the book that the firefighter wrote, that he wrote a whole chapter about our fire, I call it, and there was a big focus about the amount of stuff in the house. Definitely made it hard for them to fight the fire, and just boxes and stacks of things. So it was not good in that way. Yeah. Joel said, "In my years on this earth, I found that we find the special people we need when we need them. This community is magic. I feel blessed to be a part of it." Totally agree. Totally agree with that. Yes, good for you to have categories. I'm impressed. That's awesome, Evelyn. Definitely. Kim said, I healed from hoarding, pack rat, to minimalism and tiny living. There we go. Yeah. Oh, somebody knows what Fly Lady is. Oh my God, Fly Lady. I did it too. I remember the bleach by the toilets. Yeah. 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 I have her book, Body Clutter, but I don't know. I guess I never took it to heart, but it was a good book. Yeah. Alicia, I feel that I need to work on organizing and storing things. I have so much stuff and don't want to get rid of any of it. That's right. Yeah, I'll be honest. This morning, it was I didn't sleep very much last night, and I texted one of my sisters this morning to ask her if she'd heard from the other sister who lives in New Hampshire, if she was going to stay with me or our mom for, the night before Thanksgiving. Because if she was, I was going to have to break, 'cause she has 4 kids. I was going to have to break down my studio and all this because this is the guest room. This would be, where her and her husband would stay. And then we would have had to declutter Duncan's office because he's a little even worse than me about it. And he's got like stacks of like cans of food. Like he thinks that, I don't know, the tribulation's coming or something. Some kind of he's a prepper, right? So he's got tons of stuff. So I was like, okay, I need several days notice because then I've got to, pack things away and figure out. But it turns out she's staying at my mom's. So we're just having the dinner here. So at least we don't have to move furniture around too much. Although our tables we have 25 people coming. So our kitchen and dining room, a good size dining room, small, but we've got really big living room. So we're gonna have to put tables in the living room. It's very crazy. Very crazy. Liz, you're a babe. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely true. 100%. All right. Yeah, we're talking about organizing. Oh, Miss Sunrise done. Same. I cleaned my sink the other day. The rest of the house is still a mess. I know. I know. You know, what's funny is Duncan has that philosophy too. Is like it drives him crazy when there's dirty dishes, which I don't like to have dirty dishes either. But what drives me crazy is a dirty bathroom. I will flip out. I will flip out. So that's where I go first. Is like you know he so it's good because he keeps he helps me with the kitchen and I do the bathrooms because in the call I was at least now I can use gloves and I can use one of those things with a handle and I don't have to put my hands inside the bowl, with like strangers using it. Ugh. Yeah. That's how it was there. Yes, to the perfectionism. Yep. Yeah. It's like, you know, a few minutes is better than nothing. It's like I would just wait until I was like, you wait till you're in the mood, till you have time, till you're in the right headspace to do like a cracker jack job or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen for me at least. Kim said, I don't make to-do lists anymore. I work in 15-minute increments, like Marilyn is mentioning. So far, it's working good for me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Evelyn said, the thing I got from Fly Lady was the bathroom, swish and swipe. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of good things from her. What I didn't like was, what I didn't follow was the whole like regimen of this day you do this day you do that. But I do when my sink starts to get like a build like some because we have really good water. We actually have a spring. We have right of way to a spring that's on our deed, and the water's really really good. But mountain spring water tends to have minerals in it. So when you get that kind of build up, I do this fill the sink with really hot water and a little bit of bleach, and that does seem to help. So thank you, Fly Lady. Yeah. Miss Sunrise Dawn. We have 15 cats, a dog, and 4-year-old and a 4-year-old. So things get messy around fast around here. I can imagine. We have 2 puppies and yeah, Rocky is obsessed with, like, if you leave a Kleenex, like, on table, he's, like, trying to get to it. God forbid you leave it on the if you drop it on the floor accidentally. Or the other day, I was changing the toilet paper roll because it was done, and I dropped it and it bounced, and he came out of nowhere. He just, like, materialized, and he grabbed that roll, and he was off, and he just played with it forever and ever. So, yeah, I don't know how I got in that subject, but yeah. Oh, hey. Hey, Jen. Jen from the Ego Next Door. I'm crazy about organizing things to the point I drive myself crazy and have panic attacks. Yeah, this might be a good subject, right? On its own, maybe we can talk about that someday as like a morning musing subject, guys, because seems like it struck a chord. Yeah, I agree. Susie Q. I forgot about the fly lady. I tried to do that, but I felt overwhelmed. Yeah, I know. It's like you have somebody telling you not to be overwhelmed, to not be a perfectionist. And then, yeah, with me, I like become a perfectionist about not being a perfectionist. And yeah, it was a lot. As soon as something becomes like a program, that's when I'm usually out. Like I can glean things from it, you can take things away that I can use, you know. Oh, thank you for all the love. Yes, we love you, Liz. So glad to see you. Thank you, Barb. It's definitely not boring. I can imagine with 15 cats and dogs and a 4-year-old. Goodness. Jen said, here in Europe, we have an app called Vinted, and we can sell used slash new clothes, etc. super fast and hassle free. That's how I've been trying to get rid of more than half of my clothes and other stuff. There you go. That's great. Yeah, talking about OCD. Yeah, we can definitely relate to quite a few of these things. Kim said, here in Hibbing, Minnesota, they have me. I accept donated household and craft items and redistribute them for free throughout my community. Have car, will travel. That's great. That's awesome. I like that. Gina, hey Gina, good to see you. I can lists. Good. I like that. Yeah. I have the clutter symptom from trauma. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have helped me a lot because I don't know where all my weird quirks come from or anything, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, that does make sense." You know, because not that we use it as a quote excuse, but it empowers you because you have a you have something to refer to and a reason for how you are. It's like, wow, okay, helps me to understand that. Oh, I'm getting a thing pop up. Oh, someone just commented on my Facebook. I don't know how. Oh, I must have that open. But yeah, I wanted to actually show you guys something. Speaking of, this message was something about a toe. I want to show you guys. See if I can pull it up. Sorry, I know I'm umming a lot. How terrible I am with screen sharing. Okay, I just want to show you some. So I got brave, and Kelly had helped me with a merch store and made some amazing designs. And one night, I just decided I was going to try to do some because I had some ideas, and I didn't want to be like, Kelly, can you help me? Because she's so busy and she's done so much for me. So I wanted to show you some new stuff. It's been out for a few days, but let's see, share screen. I'm not sure if I have them all on my story yet, but you'll get the idea. See if you can find it. Yeah, so this is see if I can zoom in. This is Mama Bear with some hearts, because we're always talking about that Mama Bear instinct, right? And on the flip side, I decided Kelly made this. It's triple C, and you got the purple, and that sort of reminded me of like a skein of yarn. So that's my logo, as you can see on the top of my StreamYard there. And yeah, and I did that Mama Bear thing in Canva. So uh, if anybody's interested, and I think at some point I'll probably do some type of drawing around Christmas or something too. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, and let's see if I can find. Um, yeah, so we've got this is what Kelly designed. Crochet is cool, and then someone requested knitting is cool, so I did that one. Not quite as not quite as cool as Kelly's, but that's knitting is cool. And I have the what do you call it? The tan khaki color of it too. So we've got crochet is cool and knitting is cool. So I just want to show you guys that. Yeah. So that was really, really fun to make. So oh, this is a great idea. That's a great idea. Done lists. Kat had that idea. That's great. Oh, here we go. I stopped doing to-do lists and now make done lists. That is so much more motivating, less overwhelming. Yeah. Sense of accomplishment. That's a great idea. Love that. Love that. Yeah. Clutter symptom from trauma. Barbara said, I have to clean as I go. So I tend to sometimes, most times, not even do any art. Yeah. Yeah, I do that, like, when I'm done with a crochet project, I usually have a bunch of stuff and on my couch and the chair next to me, and, I try to, wind things up, put it back in the drawers or behind me if I'm not using that, color, so, yeah, try to reset. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of decluttering before I have 25 people in my house. Yeah, uh Joel says, the last 25 years in auction biz, I found that many of us are keepers. We keep a lot of stuff. And I'm sure that way. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. My hubby, he's not here to defend himself, but was he hiking? Yeah, I think he is hiking. Yeah, he comes from a family that actually had really nice stuff. Like, I mean, they had stuff from like the 1800s, and you don't really wanna throw stuff away. I mean, he's got, like, antiques, and yeah, his mom saved everything. So, a lot of it is keepsake stuff, but sometimes I'm like, "Can we take a picture?" You know? Because it's a lot, definitely. Hey, Jobo, good to see you. I sent you an email. I sent you an email back again, so, let me know what you think. Yeah. So, um oh, stop. You do not, Barbara. I live in Walmart moo I can't imagine you yeah. Anyways, definitely not a moo on you. You're silly. Oh, yeah. Sophia said, "My grandpa had this system where no one found anything, but he could guide you over the phone. No one found anything." Oh, yeah, right. I do that with Duncan. I'm just like, "Where's this? Where's that?" I know. Whenever he goes away, like if he goes up, hiking with his brother in New Hampshire, I'm like, keep your phone on you. Not only so I know you're safe, but because I don't know where anything is. Yeah. Witness says, I've started saying things like, present Whitney is doing this for future Whitney. Yes, I love that. Put on the headphones and try to dance and clean as long as I can. It's got, it's all I got, right? So one sec. Yeah, I've been talking for a while. Yeah, so sometimes what I do is I feel like if my hoarding slash clutter stuff is neat, then I can keep it. I don't know. I don't know if that works, but or if I have it in a nice container out of sight, out of mind. But I have plenty of things in sight. Jen says, I used to hoard a lot, but after having to run away from home this year, I lost most of the things I owned or had bought. It's been incredibly traumatic to accept, I bet. I bet, yeah. I know it's like to start over a lot. I mean, I moved a lot, well, when I was a kid before I was adopted, and also, from the age of 16 to 20, um, I think I lived in, like, 8 different places, at least 8 or 9, I think I counted. And, yeah, and not really having much, if anything, from my childhood because of the fire and all that. So, yeah, it's hard because you want to take your things with you because it gives you comfort and a little bit of history, right? Yeah. Kat said, Whitney, I learned about the tactic from a friend who would prepare healthy snacks before getting high. So she didn't eat junk during her munchies. And she said, sober me is helping our high me. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's makes sense to think about the future of the stuff you're going to have to deal with because of your actions, whether it's hoarding or substance, use or anything like that. Right. Um, yeah, that makes sense. Sophia, I usually have cleaning sprees, dancing and singing. Yeah, I was listening to this like disco track for a while and then I kind of hurt my knee and I don't know how I did it, but my doctor thinks it might just be a calcium buildup thing because it usually goes away after a while. So it's feeling a little better, but I couldn't walk very well for over a week. But I want to get back into dancing. Yeah, definitely. I'm not cleaning, I'm dancing. I have to distract myself. Yeah, I get that. Kelly said, "I can't bear when socks go missing. I can't match a pair. Where do they all go?" I remember, probably a couple of weeks ago when Nora and Liz were on, their Decktastic duo, and Carrie, Liz's wife, was in the chat, and Liz was saying how, Carrie has all these, like, really cute socks, but they don't match, and she was talking about, kinda, mm, getting rid of them, and Carrie's like, "No." I said, "Well, you can make sock puppets." I don't know. But, yeah, there's a black hole somewhere with socks, pens, what else gets lost? I don't know, in my house, I'm always looking for one of these Sharpies because, like, because I can't see very well, so I make my lists in Sharpies, and, I swear I had a whole package of them, and I got 1 left. But, yeah, I don't know where they go. Can't blame anything on the kids anymore because 'cause they're not here. Jillbo, Meryl, you look way too good for this early. Well, it's 11:44 AM, but thank you, it's sweet. I didn't even do anything in my hair, I just, like, blew it out because I wash it usually every other day, so I washed it this morning, and then I just, like, blew it straight 'cause I was like, "Ah, I don't feel like doing anything else to it." Sometimes I'll either scrunch it or I'll curl it or something, but, meh. Thank you, though. Mm, I'm just looking for some comments. So this struck a chord, guys. I mean, we started off talking about my mom, and um, it was emotional. So I'm glad we moved into talking about practical things. Trauma, how it can be hoarding can be a trauma response, and not even like I mean, there's different. I think of hoarding. I think of like hoarders, like the show. I mean, that's like a mental illness that's in itself. But yeah, I mean, I do have. some hoarder-esque tendencies. Yeah, but not. I mean, yeah, I don't. I wouldn't call myself a shopaholic. I don't like shopping, honestly. I used to love it when I was younger, but now I'm a fan of Cyber Monday rather than Black Friday. But yeah, all that's coming up, and I want to do a stream talking about, just well before Thanksgiving. If now that I'm not having company come, I don't have to like scramble to like break all this down right away. Yeah, I'm just curious what some of your traditions are, what some of your recipes are, things like that. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on, I think, 1 o'clock Eastern with Ash from That's So Fucked Up podcast and her business partner or her co-host Fallon, and we're going to talk about Twin Flames, the documentary, and I've got to get watching that. So, and writing my notes and things, and I think Peggy might be joining us too. So that should be really interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a morning musings tomorrow because that's a long time on screen. But yeah, in the next few days, there's Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I'll probably do morning musings, and we can talk about some fun stuff, about holidays and friends and family and whatever comes up. And I'm not sure I'll do any interviews this week, but I might do one. We'll see. And yeah, so I've been going for a little over an hour, but I just want to say thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me share this about my mom, and I love all your input. About the. Now I feel like I want to go organize something. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I've got all these little antique tables in the living room, and I'm gonna put on some music for Whitney, and take out my old English and shine up some tables. That sounds like fun. So my knees hurt just thinking of it. But yeah, so have a great day, everybody, and we'll definitely hopefully see you tomorrow. So bye.